thank you.
Motion to approve the minutes of June the 2nd, 2020.
Second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye. Okay.
All right. In the matter of request for appropriation of funds,
Any questions or comments in regards to item 2? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of Ohio Department of Natural Resources Capital Improvement Legislative Grant Agreement Amendment for Earl Thomas Conley Park.
Any questions or comments in regards to item 3? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of Child Support Enforcement Agency 4D contract between the Department of Job and Family Services and the Clerk of Courts.
Any questions or comments in regards to item 4? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of approving payment of the regular schedule of accounts for the various funds, moral obligations, and the then and now certificates in the total amount of $100,477.56.
Any questions or comments in regards to item 5? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting miscellaneous reports,
Any questions or comments in regards to item 6? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting an amended certificate from the Budget Commission,
Any questions or comments in regards to item 7? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
I'll second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of lease agreement between the Scioto County Board of Commissioners and Compass Point Housing regarding 526 5th Street, Portsmouth, Ohio.
Questions or comments in regards to item 8? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of renewal of lease agreement between the Scioto County Board of Commissioners and Compass Point Housing regarding 817 Harrisonville Avenue, New Boston, Ohio.
Questions or comments in regards to item 9? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution accepting the transfer of property from the State of Ohio Department of Transportation to the Board of Scioto County Commissioners, Scioto County, Ohio, regarding the O&E Canal Walk 48 and 50.
Questions or comments in regards to item 10? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution directing the chairman of the Board of Scioto County Commissioners to submit an application for fiscal year 2021 Community Development Block Grant funds to the Ohio Development Services Agency.
Are there any questions or comments in regards to item 11? Hearing none.
Motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of authorizing the clerk to advertise a notice of CDGB public hearing regarding the direct allocation program.
Questions or comments in regards to item 12? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In a matter of request for appropriation transfer of funds,
Questions or comments in regards to item 13? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye. Okay. Are there any other Comments, Ms. Coleman?
Not at this time.
Mr. Crabtree?
No, sir.
Questions on items on the agenda from the press on the agenda?
Item number 3, the capital improvements grant on
Yes.
CDC board.
Uh-huh. That is, we have requested an extension, or the time frame of that. Capital Improvement Legislative Grant Agreement for Earl Thomas Conley Park is made and agreed upon by the state of Ohio, acting through the Ohio Department of Health, Ohio Department of Natural Resources, and by the Scioto County Board of County Commissioners pursuant to section 1501.05 of the Ohio Revised Code to extend the project period through December 31st, 2020. The original deadline was June. With COVID and with the contractors, everybody shut down the way they have been. We had to file an extension to be able to get that done this year. So,
It's just an extension of all existing agreement?
yeah, it's an existing grant for $100,000, and we're doing the paving and everything at the park for the basketball courts and the tennis courts and all that. But because of the COVID and how really we've lost several months with contractors not being able to work and working with ODNR, they've been working out of their offices, skeleton staff. We as well here have been working staggered hours. They were very gracious to allow us to extend that grant period, and we appreciate ODNR. Yeah, it gives us more time to get it done, and the state of Ohio, really a lot of the agencies within the state of Ohio are being very good about working with local government to extend those periods. So we're seeing that really across the board. Everybody understands that everybody's been pretty much put at a disadvantage because of COVID. All right. Any other questions from the press on the agenda? Brian, you want to go ahead and you had some?
Item 4.
Item 4.
Who's asking the question?
Mark Raycraft.
Okay. What is you just want to know what it is? It's Child Service Enforcement Agency, 4D contract between JNFS and the Clerk of Courts for CSEA initiated filings effective 4/1/20 through 3/31/21 in the amount of $122,484.48.
Item 8.
Item 8 is a lease agreement between the county commissioners and Compass Point Housing. Compass Point Housing lease agreement for 526 5th Street, Portsmouth, January 1st, 2020 through October 1st, 2020 in the amount of $7,500 per month.
Item 9.
Compass Point Housing lease agreement for 817 Harrisonville Avenue, New Boston, renewal on lease, period, June 21st, 2020 through June 20th, 2021.
And then item 13.
Yeah, I'll pull those out. Item 13, we had 3 appropriation transfer requests. One was from actually 2 are from adult probation. I don't have all these added up here, but there's several. From travel, training, lab services, maintenance, and repair. These are all different values.
They're just general transfers.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can make copies, I guess, of this, and it'd be easier for us to do that and to give you a copy. Maintenance and repair, vehicle maintenance, fuel supplies, literally anything ranging from $3,000 down to $11.80, and all of that being transferred to looks like PERS and Medicare. This is a standard thing where they'll move monies around throughout the year to make sure that they're covering their cost in different buckets. There's another one here from travel, where of course travel has been greatly reduced. They were able to transfer that, and looks like they're doing some preventative maintenance and repairs on some cars of the fleet. So they're moving $7,000 from travel and moving $7,000 to maintenance and repairs and vehicle repair line items. The third one is from the sheriff's office. They moved $100 from gas and moved it to maintenance and repairs equipment, $100. Those are the 3 transfer requests. Anything else?
From Cindy Nichols, item 12.
Cindy Nichols. Okay. Authorizing clerk to advertise notice of CDBG public hearing. Basically, that's tied in with number 11, so if it'd be all right, we can cover that. Resolution to submit an application for CDBG funding for fiscal year 2021. This is all standard operating procedure. If we're going to go after the community development block grant monies, which for this next 2 years, because it's a 2-year cycle now, is $288,000. And this is something that the Commissioner's Office used to do every year. Now, because the state of Ohio changed the schedule to every 2 years, we do it every 2 years. But this is to help nonprofits, community organizations. Golden Bears have been recipients before, different organizations to help with their funding for different needs throughout the community. We've helped the different community centers. Last year we helped the 17th Street Community Center with their roof. There's a lot of different things we've done for a lot of people throughout our community. Otway, we've helped them with their community center. New Boston Safety, the walkways in New Boston. It's really spread out everywhere. And so this is the beginning of that process. We are able to hand out applications for that grant now. And what we'll do is we'll receive those grants, and then those will be reviewed. And then the public notice is literally, it's scheduled to sit and hear us say that we have $288,000 to spend. That's really what that is, and to let everybody know that this is the beginning of the process. We have to do the paperwork first, then we have the meeting, then we have the meeting after the meeting to announce what projects will be funded. Welcome to Government 101. So that is how it works. Anything else? Okay.
Brian,
Yes.
this Brian back here.
Yes.
Those
Sorry.
those three questions after Mark, were those all from Mark?
Yes, 489.
Okay. And Cindy Nichols, is she with a,
She's not stating whether she is with.
okay, she's just asking a question. Thank you.
Okay. I did. I'm actually watching myself. I did see a comment. There was a question about the inmate death at the Scioto County Jail as well, and we don't have anything we can comment on because we don't have any information. I did inquire yesterday about the death of Mr. Bailey, and our understanding is that Ohio BCI is doing an investigation into that. So they are very, very, very involved. I understand that our Sheriff's Department is being very helpful in helping with that investigation. So we would not be able to comment because we know as much. Really, I've read things online, and then on WSAZ last night, we know as much as they do. So until BCI has had their opportunity to investigate, and that investigation be referred to the prosecutor for whatever direction that goes, we just don't know. That is all under the direction of Bureau of Criminal Investigations, Ohio. So we'll let them have that time, of course, to do that. Any way you look at it, tragic situation. So we'll let that whole process go through its normal channels, and I'm sure that hopefully sooner than later we'll have some input on that. Okay. Anything else? Anything for Larry? He would like to stay over here in the corner. Larry is our deputy director of EMA, and Larry, if it would be all right with you, I would like to ask you a question, because I know there's a lot of confusion out there right now, and you know what I'm going to ask you. It seems like every week the Ohio Department of Health changes the way they're reporting things. It's very frustrating to the average citizen out there. It's very frustrating to us because, unfortunately, I know that a lot of times people think that the commissioners are the first to hear about everything. And they
No.
would even like to think that EMA is the first one to hear about everything. But unfortunately, because we are dealing with entities in different cities, we're dealing with state entities, we're dealing with county entities, we're dealing with federal entities. Some entities report quicker than others. I'll even go as far as saying some entities work better together than others. But because of the complexities of some entities, internally, it takes longer to get information out of them. And that's not necessarily anybody's fault, that's just the system. So I believe our number is 18 now, and that went up. I think a lot of people were alarmed because they, went up 3 all of a sudden, and people were alarmed, and we didn't find out about it until it was already reported, of course. A lot of that has to do with HIPAA laws and things like that, and the health department being very quiet. But could you elaborate on that process so that everybody understands that it's not necessary. We want the information out there. It's just we don't always have it in a time sensitive.
Well, the first thing that happens, of course, the hospitals have been really good about reporting the information to the health departments. Now that testing is spreading out to other entities, they're not necessarily as good about, well, first off, they don't have to report their negatives. Secondly, they're just required to do the positive. So now we're antibody testing, we're viral testing, some people have been tested 3-4 times and then they become positive. So the whole process has been kind of not a real good standard to base things on. With the health department and our incident command basically disengaged January, or excuse me, I wish it was January, June 1st. So we no longer have that constant back and forth information 24/7 because, quite frankly, the health department has a lot of stuff they do on a regular basis. And when a positive case comes in, Molly Davis, the epidemiologist for both the county and the city, have to do contact tracing. Also, the partners at both health departments have to do that. And that is a very hard and involved process of trying to track down everybody that this person's come in contact in recent days. It's like being a detective. So once you have to contact all these people and tell them to quarantine, and then you have to follow up to make sure that they haven't presented some health issues themselves or symptoms. So it is almost a full-time job for the whole health department just to keep track of who's got it and who they've been in contact with. So once we disengaged, they're getting numbers now from all kinds of sources. And so basically the health department said we no longer can manage all these negatives and we don't know, what they really mean. So we need to just give you the viral positive cases. And that's what we went to. And even before, the Scioto County Health Department and the Portsmouth Health Department would combine their numbers and give them to us. Now those are coming into us separately. So in order to really keep track of where we're at, and of course as the testing goes up, you're going to get increases in positives because some people out there have been asymptomatic and didn't know it. The criteria has changed now. Kentucky opened up, all kinds of people. Anybody who wants a test can get a test. We've had people from Ohio going over there, but that goes back to where the place they're from is where it's reported to. So it's kind of like a hot mess. But main thing is we've only had one local hospitalization through the whole pandemic. And I think early on, even Governor DeWine and Dr. Acton started leaning towards that hospitalization number to kind of give us a picture of where we're at. Now, if we had thousands and thousands of people here in Scioto County in the hospital because of this, we would have a problem. But I think we've made it through the outbreak, the height of the outbreak, in really good shape. So we're trying to just keep track of where we're at, really, to see make sure that we're not a hot spot. Unfortunately, the prison had an employee that tested positive, and there was even some confusion of tracking that down due to some lack of communications. Because at first, the health department thought it was an EMS worker, and actually they found out themselves that it was an SOCF employee from Facebook. So, you know, they spent 12 hours trying to track down somebody that was completely, didn't exist. It was a person, you know, that worked at the prison. So you can see how hard it is for the health department to try to track down, do their job amongst all the other things that they have to do. So it's just really been, you know, problem trying to keep all the information coming. I mean, we want people to see the numbers so they can judge for themselves. You know, if you're a high-risk person, well, it's still here. You know, we know it is. There's people out there that have it that don't know it, and there's people that probably have it and know it, but they don't, you know, go to the hospital and stuff. So if you're high risk, I mean, you really still need to do what we've been doing, shelter and things like that. So that's the reason why we basically are not reporting negatives anymore, and because we kind of disbanded the Joint Information and Joint Incident Command, it's more, you know, once you get something done, then you let me know, instead of like, as soon as you know something, pick up the phone and call us. You know, we're still receiving PPE shipments, which is not a bad thing, because we don't know what's going to happen in the fall with the flu season coming, and maybe this will resurge. But I tell you, we're in a lot better place than we were when this all started, because we had nothing. And the stuff they first started pushing out was left over from Ebola, things like that. So, but now it's sort of like a fire hose. It's really hard to turn it off. But we're getting a lot of things that we didn't get in the first early months, and that's gowns and things like that. So, and we pushed a lot of PPE out to the public, to the first responders, and now school's getting ready to start. We don't know what kind of, you know, that's going to do.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question, Larry.
Yes, Kat.
Now that the test is coming out, for those people who had it
Mm-hmm.
and didn't realize it at the time until, you know, all this came up, and then they've been tested, and let's say they were confirmed that they did have it, will those numbers be included in the confirmed?
The county numbers will just be the viral test,
Okay.
not the antibody testing
Okay.
now.
I was just curious.
So that way, it's an active case.
Yes.
Because, and that's something else that's going to cloud the picture. And I think one of the things we're learning more and more is what most people around here suspected. This thing's been around a lot longer
Yes.
than we thought, going back to early January, late
Mm-hmm.
December. So, and I think some of the antibody testing is starting to prove that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything?
Anything for Larry?
There is a question, I don't know if you can answer it or not, from Sin Macklin. Who is in charge of the contact tracing at SOSC? Scioto County Health Department or the state?
No, that is the state. Since it's a state-run facility, the state basically is in charge of reporting their numbers, and also the contact tracing, all that sort of thing too. Now they have to report if they do have a positive to our health departments. But you know, as far as trying to run all this stuff down, it's our health department would also try to do the same thing because it's a reported positive. But the primary responsibility is with the state, and because they're running under the state auspices, a lot of that is because, you know, and that's why we have 3 hospitalizations, and we can only account for 1. So there's kind of a disconnect there. And of course, when they're coming in to test, the state, is bringing in Wexner Medical Center to do the testing. So they're kind of, I don't know, it's sort of like Pluto. They're in our solar system, but they're way out there rotating, and sometimes we don't have a real good idea of what's going on there. So.
Cindy Nichols just asked, how would you get the antibody test done?
Well, anybody can get an antibody test. All they have to do is have a doctor's orders. So if they have a primary care physician, just go to them and tell them you want the antibody test. And, depending on your relationship with your doctor, you can get it done.
Okay.
Thanks.
If there's nothing else, motion to
Motion to adjourn?
A second.
Recess.
Oh, wait a minute.
recess, I'm sorry.
Recess,
Recess for bid opening. Is the engineer coming down?
I think Coleman's.
Okay.
Mr. Crabtree,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.